seeing a lot of deeply political films, either directly treating a political issue or with a political subtext.
Don't miss the live special report between Capital Television and Darussalam Television at 9:30 p.m.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Joaquinho, he did lose some length.
Jua kuwa 2020 ni mwaka wa uchaguzi? Basi ITV inatoa fursa kwa wagombea wote wa nafasi zote kujinadi na kueleza sera na mikakati yao kwenye kipindi cha Nagombea 2020. Changamkia fursa hii itakayokuwezesha kuwafikia walengo kwa bei nafuu.
Wasiliana nasi kupitia simu nambari 0767777147 au 0658777147 au 0684 302014 au 22277591 mpaka 6 au advertise at itv.co.tz.
Ngoja, utakuta mwana si wako
Vigezo na masharti kuzingatiwa.
In Capital News tonight, Chadema continues with the second round of campaigns as CCM ends the first round of presidential campaigns. Zanzibar Electoral Commission reinstates ACT Wazalendo president candidate Saif Sharif Hamad to contest the presidential race. And in sports, Yanga Sports Club launched a new case for this Premier League season. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Yvonne Msema. First, the national news. The presidential candidate for the United Republic of Tanzania from Chadema Party, Tundu Lissu, has urged residents of Morogoro to vote for him as he pledged to revive industries which have closed down due to sabotage. He made the pledge at a campaign rally held at Heroes Ground in Morogoro.
Viwanda vilivyokuwa Morogoro ilikuwa mmoja wa miji mikubwa ya viwanda katika nchi hii.
Morogoro was one of the big towns with industries in the country. Leather factories, tobacco, the biggest railway garage in East Africa. They've eaten up everything, not just in Morogoro. This country had key industrial regions, Darussalam being one, Arusha, Tanga, Mwanza. They are killing industries and getting money and sharing it between themselves.
Kinachonisumbua na kunitesa ni viwanda. Mnajua wananchi, ni viwanda vinanitesa.
Ni suala la katiba. Katiba ambayo ndani yake kuna sheria kubwa na sheria ndogo. Sheria ndogo ambazo zimeendelea kuwa kandamizi. Hata katika manispaa zetu tunatumia sheria ndogo katika utozaji wa kodi.
Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM has completed the first round of campaigns by saying that in the last 5 years, the party has strengthened, making it possible to implement election campaigns scientifically. The statement was made in Chato District, Geita Region, by CCM's Secretary of Ideology and Publicity, Humphrey Polepole, when giving an evaluation of the first round of campaigns.
Na ninapenda tu niwajulishe ya kwamba kampeni ya mwaka huu ya Chama cha Mapinduzi.
This year's campaign for Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party is done scientifically with skill. In this first round of campaigning, you can bear witness, we've been conducting scientific research on how the public reception has been, and if votes were to be cast today, September 11th, 2020, therefore Ndugu Joseph Pombe John Magufuli, presidential candidate under CCM party ticket, would win by more than 85%. Since Ndugu John Pombe Joseph Magufuli came into power, there has not been an increase in price inflation. But you must also know that Honorable President Magufuli made a decision to scrap off tax on those earning 300,000 and below who were previously being taxed. We're also doing very well in Zanzibar. Work there is complete, and what is pending is some final touches. Zanzibarians understand as they would like to see young blood and new strength.
As political parties continue to sell their election manifestos at campaign rallies taking place in various parts of the country, institutions dealing with women and children issues have said some of the manifestos have not shown how the parties will address the problem of gender violence and challenges facing children.
Ukatili wa kijinsia niseme ni kitu kikubwa.
Gender violence is broad. If you look into it, there is different types of gender violence, and it has become the cause of women oppression. And you find that in certain cases, women face gender violence but choose to stay quiet.
When I
listen to policies from different political parties, I've not had a policy that touches women directly. A lot of political parties' manifestos speak about protection of the rights of children, but it is our duty as the people to ask them how they will do so. More so for children living in unsafe environment.
Zanzibar Electoral Commission has reinstated Saif Sharif Hamad as Zanzibar's presidential candidate from ACT Wazalendo after dismissing objections lodged by presidential candidates from DP and Demokrasia Makini parties. The verdict was given by the chairman of the commission, retired Chief Justice Hamid Mahmoud, as election campaigns in the Isles kick off.
As a commission, we see that though it is true that there is a problem in the lettering, we hesitate to see that the mistake was meant to mislead or to aid in whichever way. Our party receives all results. We had 66 candidates, but only 36 have gone through, and we did not cause trouble. We respect regulations and the law. Today, we are grateful that the Commission has done a good job. My name is approved, so I ask Zanzibarians to choose my party. It is a party that will bring them development, create employment, and uphold peace and stability. To get to this point, the Commission has shown us a lot of cooperation. We've worked well together. There has been transparency and also a lack in conflict, of which we are grateful.
The first Attorney General in Tanzania, retired Judge Bomani, has died at Mumbai National Hospital in Darussalam, where he was receiving medical treatment.
The two families met and our young men are also meeting. The decision that has been made is we should enable those in Mwanza, where he came from, to come for the burial. I think he will be buried in Goba, where he had a farm. He wanted to be buried there.
Bomani ndio mwanasheria wa kwanza.
He was the first Attorney General in this country during independence. He became the senior legal advisor in the United Nations, working towards Namibian independence from South Africa. He also worked to devise an independent legal system for the country. Later on, he moved to Zambia, where he opened Namibia College, which trained students on law and governance. During the first election in a multi-party system, he had a wish to become the President of the United Republic of Tanzania through Chama cha Mapinduzi, but he did not get that chance. He thought broadly on Tanzanian issues and those outside the country.
The traffic police force has said that it has resumed inspection operations on lorries after discovering that drivers are coming up with new ways of evading payment of fines. This was said by the commander of the traffic police force, Fortunatus Muslim, in Tunduma Town, Songa region.
You must place numbers in their respective areas so as to avoid confusion. When your vehicle is recorded on camera on one place and you are stopped in another area, it becomes a problem to drivers because when they ask to be shown evidence.
The government has approved requests from loggers at Sawe Hill Plantation in Mufindi District, Iringa region by launching a special log harvesting program which will enable them get 3-year contracts to harvest logs at the plantation.
At least 8 different taxes have been scrapped or reduced. So, step by step, if the government sees it fit, other taxes will also be reduced or scrapped off. Stakeholders who get a chance to harvest in this farm are 376 who will sign this agreement. We plan that this farm will get forest products worth 53 million. Factories that have invested here are small-scale and large-scale ones. They have been getting a 1-year contract, which was difficult for them to speak with financial institutions or enter into business contracts. So the new contract will give them assurance in securing new contracts.
The UK government has said that it will continue cooperation with the government of Tanzania in economic, education and science sectors so as to improve the welfare of Tanzanians. This was said by the British High Commissioner to Tanzania, David Konkar, when bidding farewell to 5 employees from the Ministry of Finance who are travelling to the UK for a training program.
Nimefurahi sana kuwa hapa na ni heshima.
I welcome you students going to study in the United Kingdom. What I've asked him about is to help us in capacity building amongst our staff. So as you know, education has no end. I'm asking our friends from the United Kingdom to help us get scholarship. The government has been helping its staff in capacity building where there is a need, given the financial situation. But this time, the government of United Kingdom has agreed to pay for us, and we are grateful.
And that is the end of the national news. International news is next after the break. In international news, more than 500 refugees from Burundi at Mahama camp in Rwanda have been repatriated. The refugees were received at the Nemba-Gasenyi border in Kirundo region north of Burundi. This is the second group of refugees to be repatriated from Rwanda after the first group, comprising of nearly 500 refugees, returned to Burundi towards the end of August this year.
We ran because there was chaos, but things have calmed down now. This is why we've come back. We're happy to welcome back refugees from Rwanda. Some wrote to the president of Burundi, and we are sure that he received the letter, and we're waiting to hear from him so we can receive them too.
The government of Uganda has directed more than 200 non-government organizations to verify their registration before stern measures are taken against them. The move comes after a report revealed that many NGOs were operating to get personal gain and not social support.
We have a few organizations, not more than 5 organizations who are active on the ground. The rest are only having big posters and generating huge money from their sources, and they're using it in the name of Uganda, helping refugees in Uganda, which they are not. So our names are portrayed negative abroad there, like we are taking so much money, which we are not seeing. So we said now, first of all, those operating in refugee settlements, they must, all of those who are genuinely operating, have MOU with us, with the Office of the Prime Minister. Number two, they are registered, recognized NGO with the NGO board in the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Now others, masqueraders, are not registered anywhere. They're just carrying posters. They are for Uganda. They are not even, we don't even know how much money they are getting in our names. They don't know where that money is going, but they are using us.
A consignment of expired spaghetti and rice imported from Italy in 2018 has been seized in various warehouses in Mombasa, Kenya, and destroyed. Kenya Bureau of Standards has said the incineration operation is being implemented to protect the health of consumers.
We are carrying out inspection to ascertain if goods are allowed in the country and whether it can be tested. And if not, we ban it and the person responsible is taken to court.
And that is the end of international news. Business News is next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
In business news, farmers using irrigation schemes are expected to start paying fees for services to the irrigation fund so that it can expand infrastructure and improve irrigation services in the country.
Skimu zote huko nyuma iliachiwa serikali peke yake ndio izijenge. Kweli sio kweli?
In the past, all repair work was left to the government, while the policy since 2013 requires us to form a national irrigation scheme so that we could collect contributions for greater expansion of the schemes. This is why, as a government, we've started a national irrigation scheme. Farmers failing to give contributions according to the law in order to improve the infrastructure. However, production is linked to a large extent to irrigation. We are asking the government to help us with the contributions because we pay taxes.
The Cashew Nut Board has said despite cashew nut production contributing less than 10% of cashew nut produced by more than 40 countries around the world, Tanzania is amongst countries with the best quality cashew nut.
Our global contribution is less than 10%, but because they come to us to buy our cashew nut because of its high quality in taste, color, as well as size, when we saw statistics showing that the quality has dropped from 99% to 97%, we were shocked and have seen the need to focus on training on quality control.
Stakeholders from the private sector have urged the government to review the law which established Tanzania Shipping Agencies Corporation in order to address challenges facing businesses in the country.
Ni kutoa nafasi ya kuzungumza fursa zilizopo, lakini vile vile changamoto zilizopo. Kuna changamoto za kisera, nyingine za kisheria, lakini pia kuna changamoto za usimamizi na nyingine za kiutawala.
And that is the end of Business News. Sports News is next after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters.
Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lend.
In sports news, Young Africans Football Club have launched their new kits with hundreds of fans witnessing the much-awaited event.
So I can assist and advise on what is the best way to transform the club. But mainly is to look at the management practices. How do we ensure that the club is properly professionalized and we ensure that the club can sustain itself in a long period of time. You know, currently club depends mainly on sponsorship and donations, but we need to find a way that the club is able to be self-sustainable through proper mechanisms in place to attract sponsors, to attract income through its fans. So that is mainly my responsibilities at Young Africans.
Tanzania Football Federation TFF have added more sponsors after Playmaster Betting came on board and will provide 200 million shillings to the federation.
In our discussion, we talk about a few clubs they can also work with, and in our talks, they can also go to several regions to help in regional leagues. So they are our new stakeholders. We are announcing them today, and we sign with them the first contract.
Arsenal have handed Mikel Arteta significantly more power by promoting him from a head coach to first-team manager, formally widening his remit across their football operations. Here's more on that story.
It is a reward for the eye-catching impact Arteta has made materially and behind the scenes since succeeding Unai Emery. His first half season brought an FA Cup win and transformation in mood. Key players such as Bukayo Saka and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, whose new contract will be confirmed soon, have been persuaded to stay, and the ease with which he took matters away from the training pitch became evident immediately. Although the change may appear semantic, the difference is considerable.
Chelsea have rejected an offer from N'Golo Kante from International that include Marcelo Brozovic and have told the Italian club they are not interested in a deal involving the former Tottenham midfielder Christian Eriksen. Hear more details on that story.
Antonio Conte has made Kante a top target, and Inter, who do not have a big budget, are weighing up whether to continue their pursuit of the midfielder. Conte will have to raise funds through player sales if he wants to make a straight cash offer. Inter were left disappointed after testing the water with a part exchange offering including Brozovic, the 27-year-old Croatian midfielder. Chelsea are not in a rush to sell Kante, even though injury problems restricted him to 28 appearances last season, and are not interested in Brozovic.
And Leeds United have confirmed that manager Marcelo Bielsa has signed a new one-year deal with the club following their promotion to the Premier League last season. Here's more on that story.
The 65-year-old mastermind at Leeds returned to the top flight after a 16-year absence by winning the championship last season, having almost gone up in his first year only to lose in the playoff semi-final to Derby County. Bielsa's deal expired at the end of the 2019-2020, but Leeds have been working hard to agree fresh terms with the Argentinian, who is considered one of the most influential coaches in the game. The manager announced a new deal himself at his press conference on Thursday ahead of the opening match against Premier League champions Liverpool, and this has now been officially announced by Leeds.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. Thank you for watching and good night.